all over the world because no other country could have done what we did. And you should say that's a great story. Instead, you say Trump was slow or slow. We were so fast. Plus, we put the ban on so much earlier. When Nancy Pelosi, as an example, you don't say this, when she's having her rally in San Francisco, in Chinatown in San Francisco, nobody wants to say that. If we didn't, and Dr. Fauci said this, if we didn't close our country to China, we would have been so infected like nobody's ever seen. When you saw the chart, and we were at the top of the list in terms of success, nobody wrote it. I said, where is anybody going to use that chart? Nobody wrote it. In terms of mortality, you saw that. Nobody wrote it. Germany and our country, the most successful. In terms of mortality, nobody wrote it. It would be great if you wrote the truth, but let's get on with it because I want Mike to speak, and then we'll take some more questions on the assumption you'd like to, and I think you probably will. It's been encouraging to watch states begin to open up, and it really has been. It's a beautiful thing to see as restrictions are lifted. We must maintain vigilance and continue practicing social distancing. I encourage governors to follow a careful, phased approach, and I want to remind all Americans to adhere to our guidelines, very important. The governors are going to adhere, hopefully, or they're going to do what they think is best. I want them to do what they think is best, but ideally they'll adhere. Wash your hands, avoid close physical contact as much as possible, and wear a face covering when distancing is impractical. There are cases. We've flattened the curve and really made tremendous progress, but we must guard against a dangerous rebound. We don't want a rebound. That's so important. This is what we're just talking about. We don't want a rebound. The doctor doesn't want a rebound. These people definitely don't want a rebound. I don't think you want one, do you? Huh? You, especially. We don't want rebounds after all this death that we've suffered. Not work. I don't view work. I view it death that was unnecessary. Should have never happened. Should have never left that little area where it started. You know it, and I know it, and they know it. In our all-out war against the virus, we continue to make great strides on testing, famous testing, doing more than anybody else anywhere in the world. Nothing funny about that, John. Most of the governors have never faced a situation like this before, but we're helping them find unused testing capacity within their states. Tremendous testing capacity that the governors, in many cases, didn't know they had. And additional capabilities are coming online every day. We're coming up with new equipment, like the Abbott Laboratories equipment. On-site, 5 minutes, great success. Everybody wants it. But you can only make so many of those machines, so we have many other forms of testing. We have many other machines that do it very quickly and by the millions. Our task force issued its reopening guidelines earlier than April 30th to give governors the time that they needed to develop testing capability and capacity and customize plans for their states, which many of them did. We've had some governors do a fantastic job on testing, and in phase one, we're going to have phase two very soon. Is just too soon. I think it's too soon. And I love the people. I love those people that use all of those things, the spas and the beauty parlors and barber shops, tattoo parlors. I love them. But they can wait a little bit longer, just a little bit, not much, because safety has to predominate. We have to have that. So I told the governor very simply that I disagree with his decision, but he has to do what he thinks is right. I'm excited to announce that in the coming weeks, the Air Force Thunderbirds, they're incredible, and the Navy Blue Angels, equally incredible, will be performing air shows over America's major cities and some of the cities that aren't major cities. They're going to be doing a lot of work, a lot of very dangerous flying. It's dangerous. You know the odds when you start going at massive speeds and you're 18 inches away from each other. It's dangerous work. Your son is a great pilot, and I don't know if he can be. Could he be a Thunderbird? I don't know. See. I think he probably could, from what I hear. I don't know if I'd want him to be, because it's incredible what they're able to do, and to sacrifice our front line. What we're doing is we're paying tribute to our front line healthcare workers confronting COVID, and it's really a signal to all Americans to remain vigilant during the outbreak. This is a tribute to them, to our warriors, because they're equal warriors to those incredible pilots and all of the fighters that we have for the more traditional fights that we win, and we win. If we want to win, we always win. Sometimes we don't want to win, so we just go to a standstill. But that's always, that's not the way this country works. Operation America Strong was the idea of our great military men and women, the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels crews who wanted to show support to the American medical workers who, just like military members in a time of war, are fiercely running toward the fight. It's going to be great. I want to see those shows. I've seen them many times, and I can't get enough of them. And on July 4th, we'll be doing what we had at the mall, as you know. We're going to be doing it. Last year was a tremendous success, and I would imagine we'll do it. Hopefully, I can use the term forever. That was a great success, as you remember. Even though it was pouring, it was raining so hard. It was raining. That was about as hard as I've seen in a while, but it was an amazing success. Didn't bother the pilots, didn't bother the military, didn't bother the crews that we had there. So we're going to be doing that again on July 4th. Our great military is operating at 100% during this crisis, and thousands of troops are deployed alongside of civilians in the COVID hotspots. As you know, you see them all over. When I spoke with Governor Cuomo, and when I spoke to Gavin Newsom and many of the other governors, they wanted to know if we could have some military help with the medical, and we gave it to them. And in every case, they said, fantastic. I mean, just fantastic. New York City, Mayor de Blasio called me to say it was inspiring to watch. He was there when the military came in. He said it gave everybody spirit when he saw the professionalism and the spirit that they had. They walked in and they helped a lot of people, doctors, nurses, respiratory technicians and professionals. It was an incredible thing. But everybody that saw them going to work said that was something special. So we're going to have some tremendous air shows all throughout our country, and that's in honor of what we're all going through together and the people